After a disappointing 3-8 start to the season, the Dallas Mavericks have decided to part ways with general manager Nico Harrison.
Breaking news out of Dallas. The Mavericks just dropped a bombshell. Nico Harrison is out as general manager and president of basketball operations, effective immediately. Team Governor Patrick Dumont confirmed the shocking decision today, leaving fans and insiders stunned by the sudden shakeup. Harrison, who joined the Mavericks back in 2021 after a high-profile career at Nike, had been the architect behind Luka Dončic's rise and the team's core roster. But after months of turmoil, inconsistency, and behind-the-scenes friction, Dallas finally decided it was time for change. Stepping in for now are Michael Finley and Matt Riccardi, who'll be running the show until the team lands a new GM.
Sorry for Nico Harrison, good dude, but at the end of the day, you traded Luka Dončić. And if you're trading Luka Dončić, you can't be 3-8 on the season with Anthony Davis already missing 3 games and having minimal impact to the success of the Dallas Mavericks while Kyrie Irving is out injured, while Luka Dončić is averaging 40.
The Mavericks took a wild gamble. They traded away Luka Dončić, and now everything's crashing down fast. What was meant to spark a new era has turned into one of the most embarrassing meltdowns the NBA has ever seen. This is the jaw-dropping story of how Dallas lost it all, while Luka's building his empire in LA. Remember all that preseason hype around the Mavericks? Cooper Flagg was hyped as a generational talent, Anthony Davis was finally healthy, and Dallas was called the dark horse nobody wanted to face. Some even said trading Luka Dončić might have been worth it. But now, the Mavericks have the worst offensive rating in NBA history.
And you pushed him out the door. It's unforgivable in a lot of people's eyes, and that's why this Nico Harrison is gone.
Not this year, ever. They're 3-8, near the bottom of the West, while Luka's Lakers are 8-3 and already looking like title contenders without LeBron James. Just 9 months after that shocking trade, we're seeing a full-blown collapse. And now, people are already questioning Nico Harrison's job security. Here's the wild part. Since February, Luka Dončić has played in more games than Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, and Dereck Lively too combined. The Mavs traded him over injury fears, and now their whole roster's hurt while Luka's averaging 37 a night. Unreal. We all know about the Luka Dončić trade by now. It's been talked to death since February. But if you somehow missed it, here's the recap. On February 2nd, 2025, Luka was traded to the Lakers for Anthony Davis, one of the most shocking moves in NBA history. The Mavericks had missed the playoffs the previous season at 39-43, but heading into 2025-26, there was real hope in Dallas again. Why? 2 words. Cooper Flagg. The Mavericks hit the jackpot in the draft lottery with just a 1.8% chance and landed the number. 1 pick. They drafted Cooper Flagg out of Duke, the most hyped prospect since LeBron James, maybe second only to Victor Wembanyama. He was the heavy favorite for Rookie of the Year with minus 185 odds. A generational two-way talent with elite basketball IQ, the kid could literally do everything. And then came Anthony Davis. After barely playing post-trade due to injuries, this season was supposed to be his redemption. The plan, pair Davis with Flagg and build a monster front court alongside Dereck Lively too, Daniel Gafford, and PJ Washington. Size, length, and defense for days. Dallas swore they were about to unleash a defensive powerhouse. And remember, Nico Harrison's entire reason for trading Luka was this exact vision.
Defense wins championships, and we're bringing in one of the best two-way players in the league.
Before the season, analysts couldn't agree on Dallas. Some had them as high as 6th in the West, others around 7th or 8th. But everyone believed that once Kyrie Irving returned from his ACL injury, the Mavs would be trouble. NBC Sports even called the front line of Anthony Davis, Cooper Flagg, and Dereck Lively one of the best in the NBA, and for a while, it looked like the hype was real. Cooper Flagg shined in preseason. 11.3 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 2.8 assists in just 21 minutes. Bleacher Report gave him an A for defense, saying most rookies hurt their team defensively, but not Flagg. The Mavericks went 3-1, and fans were convinced this was the start of something special.
High level, bro. Like, I see when you're open. You don't even know you're open. Like, be ready for me, bro.
The story was simple. The Luka trade was old news. The team had its generational rookie, and with a healthy AD and Kyrie's return, Dallas was ready to roll. Spoiler alert, they're not rolling. Now, for the painful truth, Anthony Davis, the so-called healthy centerpiece, has already missed 3 straight games with a calf strain and is now battling Achilles tendinopathy. Reports even claim he showed up to camp overweight, thinking he could play himself into shape. His body clearly had other plans. The irony? Dallas traded Luka partly because he was overweight, and now AD's the one breaking down. And it doesn't stop there. Kyrie's still out rehabbing his ACL until late December or maybe early 2026, meaning the team's veteran leader hasn't played a single minute. To make things worse, Jason Kidd said Derek Lively, too, is week to week with an undisclosed injury. The Mavs were supposed to be a defensive powerhouse. Instead, they're turning into a medical report. Daniel Gafford's been in and out. Dante Exum's dealing with knee issues. And last season, the Mavericks once had just 8 healthy players, the absolute minimum to play. Now it's happening again. The team that was supposed to dominate with size and depth is being wrecked by injuries. Here's a brutal stat. Since the Luka trade, Luka Dončić has played in more games than Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, and Derek Lively II combined. The Mavs traded him for availability and ended up with a roster that can't even stay upright. The irony is painful. And Anthony Davis, he's missed 244 games in 13 seasons, nearly 3 full years. He's had injuries everywhere, 25 in his first 5 seasons alone. And the Mavs thought this was their reliable star? Come on. But the saddest part isn't even AD. It's Cooper Flag. The rookie's done everything right, but he's trapped in chaos. After the Mavs lost to New Orleans, he said something that broke every fan's heart.
For me, it's the most, I've won since, I think ever.
This kid went 33-0 at Montverde Academy, won a national title, and took Duke to the Elite 8. He's never tasted losing like this. But here's why it's happening. Jason Kidd's playing him way out of position. Cooper Flag, a 6'9" forward who dominated at the 3 or 4, started the first 7 games at point guard. With Kyrie out and no real floor general, Kidd threw an 18-year-old rookie into the NBA's toughest role, hoping he'd somehow turn into Luka Dončić 2.0. Tim McMahon said it best. I'm not selling any Cooper Flag stock, but it's a struggle. Flag's got the second worst plus-minus in the league. He's putting up 15 points, 6.8 rebounds, and 3.1 assists, but he's shooting only 42% from the field and 26% from 3. Not bad for a rookie forward, but not what you want from your point guard. Mavs Moneyball even wrote a piece titled, "Should We Be Worried for Cooper Flag?" And it's heartbreaking. They said the Mavericks are failing him, forcing him into a system that doesn't fit. Instead of growing in a natural forward role, he's stuck running an offense with no spacing, no help, and no direction. An 18-year-old kid given the keys to a broken car and told to drive. Finally, they made a change against New Orleans. D'Angelo Russell started at point guard, Cooper Flag moved back to his real position, and instantly looked like himself again. He dropped 20 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. That's the star everyone expected, but even then, the Mavericks still lost to the worst team in the West, and the Pelicans didn't even have Zion. The damage, though, is done. Flag's now behind VJ Edgecombe in the Rookie of the Year race. And while VJ's been great, averaging 21.5 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 5.4 assists, Flag was supposed to dominate that race. Now he's barely mentioned. And this offense, it's historically awful. The Mavericks have a relative offensive rating of minus 11.8, the worst in NBA history if it holds. Teams that bad never win more than 27 games. They're averaging just 106 points per game, dead last. No shooting, no playmaking, no identity. Klay Thompson, their supposed shooter, is struggling so much that Kidd even benched him. And Klay's response? Big things are coming. Maybe so, but fans are joking it's that weird fried catfish Megan Thee Stallion made him eat that stole all his powers.
It is the best thing I've ever tasted, my favorite meal. Bro, chill.
It was good, babe?
It was amazing. My favorite meal. Who would have thought? Catfish, spaghetti, and some red sauce.
You have to understand how bad it's gotten. The Mavericks failed to score 100 points in 3 of their last 6 losses. Against New Orleans, they couldn't even crack triple digits against a team missing Zion Williamson and Jordan Poole, 2 of the Pelicans' best scorers. That's brutal. The offense looks completely lost, the rhythm's gone, and nobody's stepping up. And to think, this is the same team Nico Harrison promised would be bigger, tougher, and better built for the playoffs.
Defense wins championships, and we are hanging our hat on defense.
Turns out you actually have to score points to win basketball games. Who could have guessed that, right? While the Mavericks are falling apart, the team they traded with, the Los Angeles Lakers, is thriving. They're 8-3. sitting comfortably in 4th place in the West, right behind the defending champs OKC Thunder. And they're doing it without LeBron James, who still hasn't made his season debut because of a sciatica issue. Meanwhile, Luka Dončić is playing the best basketball of his career. Through his first 6 games, he's averaging 37.1 points, 9.4 rebounds, and 9.1 assists. Straight up video game numbers. Nobody expected him to sustain this kind of dominance, but he's making it look effortless. In his first 3 games, he averaged 45 points, something only Wilt Chamberlain has ever done twice. Against the Spurs, Luka went off for 35 points, 13 assists, 9 rebounds, 5 steals, and 2 blocks, becoming the first Lakers player since 1974 to record 35-plus points, 10-plus assists, and 5-plus steals in a regular season game. Marcus Smart's reaction afterward said it all.
What? 5 steals, 2 blocks. What? Luka, 5 steals, 2 blocks, baby. I see you. DPO.
Pure disbelief. Defensive Player of the Year. Just think about that. The same guy Nico Harrison traded because of defense concerns is now getting DPOY buzz from one of the best defenders of this era. It's pure irony. The Lakers are scoring 1.185 points per playoff Luka Dončić pick and rolls, the 4th best rate in the NBA. When he's on the floor, their offense runs smoother than Houston's top-ranked attack. Austin Reeves is having a breakout year next to him, and StatMuse even roasted Dallas, posting, "Fun fact, Luka Dončić has more blocks than the Mavericks have wins." The guy they said couldn't defend is out here proving everyone wrong while his old team falls apart. If Dallas keeps this up, they're on pace for maybe 25 wins, one of the worst seasons in franchise history. Best case, a D stays healthy, Kyrie returns by New Year's, and Flag finds his rhythm. Maybe a play-in berth. Worst case, more injuries, stalled development, and Nico Harrison's out, resetting the franchise for years. But the biggest sting? The what-ifs. What if they just kept Luka, built around him with defense instead of trading him for durability? Now he's thriving in LA, doing everything the Mavericks claimed he couldn't, defending, shooting efficiently, and making teammates better. Yahoo Sports even ran the headline, "Is this the best Luka Dončić we've ever seen?" Every highlight feels like a dagger to Dallas fans. Every Lakers win a reminder of what they lost. So the question now, how long does Nico Harrison last? ESPN's Tim McMahon says it's a legit topic around the league. When executives and scouts talk about the Mavs, the first thing they ask isn't about Cooper Flag or Kyrie. It's, is Harrison getting fired? That says everything. He signed an extension before the 2024 finals, but that feels like forever ago. Dallas is 3-7. Ranked dead last in offense with a 103.2 rating despite a top 6 defense. They can't score, they can't stay healthy, and all the pressure's falling straight on Harrison's shoulders.
One, I think I've done a really good job here, and I don't think I can be judged by the injuries this year. And you'll see next year when our team comes back, we're going to be competing for a championship.
And here's the kicker. This is the same guy who said this right after trading away Luka Dončić. Let that sink in.
Future, 10 years from now, I don't know. They probably bury me and Jay by then, or we bury ourselves.
He said they'd be competing for a championship by April. Yet here we are in November, and the Mavericks are 4-7, sitting second to last in the West with the worst offense in NBA history. Those words are aging like milk left out in the Texas sun. Team Governor Patrick Dumont reportedly still backs Harrison, but how long can that last? With every loss, it's getting harder and harder to defend him.
It's blown up in his face. It's blown up in Patrick Dumont's face. After that Luka trade, Patrick Dumont, infamous quotes, was "In Nico we trust." The trust is disintegrated at this point.
Here's the thing, Dumont was the one who approved the Luka trade. If he fires Harrison now, he's basically admitting the whole move was a disaster. That's a tough pill to swallow when you're part of ownership, but the pressure's closing in fast. Even Mark Cuban, now a minority owner, chimed in on the Stephen A. Smith show saying, "I'm not thrilled with the composition of the team. We're imbalanced. We don't have enough depth at point guard, and we don't have a true creator who gets other shots." That's Cuban publicly calling out the roster he helped build. Brutal, and it gets worse. Mavs legend Dirk Nowitzki, now working as an analyst for Amazon Prime, didn't hold back either. When Dirk Nowitzki, the most beloved Maverick ever, publicly calls the team a disaster to watch, it's bad news for the GM who built it. League insiders say the next 4 to 6 weeks are critical for Nico Harrison. Thanksgiving, mid-December, and January are key checkpoints. If Dallas is still struggling by then, expect the noise about his job to explode. And it's not just the Luka trade haunting him. Before the season, Harrison gave PJ Washington a 4-year, $90 million extension. He's shooting just 28% from 3 with a negative plus-minus. Then he handed D'Angelo Russell the mid-level deal to run point, and that's fallen flat too. Every big move since the trade has been a miss. Teams don't usually fire GMs in early November, but by December or January. It happens. Harrison's only hope is a miracle. Kyrie's return flags quick growth and a healthy Anthony Davis. But that's a lot to bank on. Right now, the clock on Harrison's job is ticking louder every loss. And with Luka dominating in LA while Dallas sinks, that clock might hit 0 sooner than anyone thinks. And then it feels like every week the Mavericks situation gets even messier. But do you think they can still fix it, or is it too late? Did Dallas made the biggest mistake of the decade trading Luka away? I really want to hear your opinion down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching Ball Stories. If you enjoyed this one, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more wild basketball stories. There's plenty more drama waiting for you in the next video, so don't go far. Catch you in the next one. Take care.